A Facebook post. That's all it took. One comment, one moment of anger, one click, and suddenly, I was behind bars, in a foreign country. No lawyer, no warning. I thought I was just venting online. But I ended up jailed in Dubai, a place I had always thought of as rich, modern, and safe. This is the true story of how a Facebook post nearly destroyed my life, and why it can happen to you too. In 2021, I was 29 years old, burned out in London. I worked in corporate marketing, had bills I hated, and was stuck in a loop. When a job offer came in from Dubai, triple my salary, tax-free, I jumped on it. Everyone told me how amazing it was. Clean streets, luxury cars, palm trees, the Burj Khalifa. So I packed 2 suitcases and moved. And for the first few months, it was amazing. I lived in a high-rise, ate at rooftop restaurants, took selfies in front of landmarks. But what I didn't realize, what no one warned me about, was that in the UAE, social media can be used against you. And when I learned that, it was already too late. It started with a broken air conditioner. In July, during a heat wave, I had complained to my landlord for weeks, but nothing was done. So I posted a short rant on Facebook. Dubai landlords are the worst. 5K AD a month and they can't even fix the damn AC. It got 17 likes and 2 comments. I didn't tag anyone. No names. No photos. Just a vent. A throwaway post on a private Facebook account. I thought nothing of it. But the next morning, I got a call from HR at work. We need you to come in. There's been a complaint from the real estate agency that owns your building. My stomach dropped. I showed up to the office thinking it was just a formality, a misunderstanding. But 2 men were waiting in the lobby. Police, in plain clothes, but they showed me a warrant written in Arabic. I was under arrest for defamation and cyber slander under UAE Cybercrime Law. I tried to explain. It was just a Facebook post. But they didn't care. They took my passport, my phone. Within hours, I was in the back of a van heading to Al Murakabat police station. I hadn't called a lawyer. I hadn't spoken to my embassy. I had no clue what was about to happen. The holding cell was small, freezing cold, bright fluorescent lights. There were 7 of us. One guy was in for bouncing a check, another for drinking in public. The guards didn't speak much English. They handed me a mattress roll and pointed at the corner. I spent 3 days there before I was transferred to Al Awir Central Prison. Inside, time slowed down. I was still in shock. How could I be here for a Facebook post? I kept thinking about my job, my apartment, my life outside. But in here, none of that mattered. There were people who'd been locked up for months without charges. Others didn't know when they'd get out. And I had no idea what the next day would bring. In the UAE, Federal Law Number 5 of 2012 governs cybercrimes. Under this law, anything considered defamatory, offensive, insulting, or damaging to someone's reputation, even if it's on your private social media, can be punished by fines, deportation, or prison. Even emoji reactions and sarcastic comments can be taken as criminal. It didn't matter that I was a foreigner. It didn't matter that I only had 400 friends on Facebook. What mattered was someone felt insulted. And in the UAE, defamation is a criminal offense, not civil. I learned all of this after I was already arrested. I finally got a lawyer, one appointed by the court. He barely spoke to me before my hearing. On the day of trial, I stood in a courtroom with a translator. The judge read out the charge. My lawyers submitted a written apology. I never got to speak. The judge sentenced me to 2 months in jail, a 10,000 AED fine, and mandatory deportation after release. I remember staring at the floor. 2 months. For a Facebook post. The next 60 days were the slowest of my life. My cell had 15 people. Some were kind. Others weren't. Food was basic, rice, chicken, flatbread. Showers were communal. There was no privacy. I spent hours staring at the ceiling, replaying everything I did wrong. I never told my parents. I didn't want them to worry. I just disappeared. And when I was finally released, I was escorted directly to the airport. No chance to return to my apartment. No chance to say goodbye. Just a stamp in my passport. Deported. I arrived in London with nothing. No job. No savings. No dignity. I had to start over. But the trauma lingered. I kept thinking, how many other people don't know the laws abroad? One post, one emoji, one frustrated comment, and your life can change overnight. I used to laugh at those travel warnings online. I thought they were exaggerated. But now, I tell everyone, read the laws before you go. Especially in countries like the UAE, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, where social media is monitored and speech has consequences.